You know the feeling. You've got this absolutely brilliant research idea, but your proposal is just sitting there in the pending pile. Or even worse, it just got sent back for major revisions. It's incredibly frustrating, right? Especially when you know your science is rock solid, but you just can't seem to get the green light. Well, in today's explainer, we're going to change that. Because the secret to getting a proposal approved fast isn't necessarily about having better science, it's about speaking the language of the approval committee.
So, why exactly is your proposal stuck in limbo? Look, often a delay isn't a reflection of the quality of your research concept at all. Instead, it's a failure to properly communicate the proposal's immediate value and feasibility. Reviewers are incredibly busy people. Think of them as ruthless efficiency machines, evaluating your research purely based on its return on investment. If they can't immediately see the practicality and the sheer importance of your work, your proposal is getting pushed aside.
Okay, let's dive into this, because you need a major mindset shift right out of the gate. Committees do not approve topics. They approve solutions. Most researchers make the critical mistake of starting their proposals by talking extensively about their theories. Don't do that. You've got to stop leading with theory and start leading with the problem. You need to show the committee exactly what is broken so you can show them exactly how you plan to fix it.
Here is your blueprint to getting that green light fast. We're covering 4 things today: the problem-first strategy, framing the question, essential structure, and finally, the fast approval checklist. All right, kicking things off with part 1, the problem-first strategy, identifying that core issue.
You need to fundamentally change how your proposal begins, and you do that with a simple 3-step flow: the gap, the question, and the solution. First, define the public health or clinical burden, but do it in concrete numbers. For example, don't just say hypertension is bad, say hypertension in Achimoa is rising by X%. Next, identify the knowledge gap. What is the one specific thing we still don't know? And finally, state your proposed solution to bridge that exact gap.
This right here brilliantly illustrates the difference in practice. A poor problem statement is vague, it's broad, like studying the effects of social media. I mean, what effects? On whom? Reviewers literally hate this because it lacks focus. A good problem statement, though, it's precise, it's targeted. Something like addressing the gap in poor adoption of new technology among young adults. Boom! It identifies a specific practice gap and shows reviewers exactly what you're tackling without wasting their time.
Now for the ultimate filter, the so what test. Every single reviewer will look at your proposal and mentally ask, so what? If your study succeeds, how will health policy or patient outcomes actually change? If you can't articulate the direct impact of your work in a single, punchy sentence, you simply aren't ready to write the proposal. Establish those stakes first. Once you have a concrete problem, then you turn it into an actionable question.
Which brings us to part 2, framing the research question, making it actionable.
So, how do you know your research question is actually researchable? You run it through these gold standards. Over on the left, we've got the finer criteria. Is your study feasible in time and resources? Is it interesting to peers? Is it novel, ethical, relevant? And on the right, especially for clinical studies, we have the PICO framework. This forces you to define your population, intervention, comparison group, the specific outcome, and the time frame. If your question survives these 2 checklists, it's committee ready.
Okay, moving right along to part 3, essential proposal structure, organizing for approval.
Listen, the way you organize your document can literally make or break your approval. If you're feeling overwhelmed, just use the RIPILEC method. It is the absolute gold standard. Think of it as your roadmap. Rationale: why is this urgent right now? Introduction: set the context. Problem statement: be highly specific. Intervention or methodology: how exactly will you pull this off? Literature review: prove you know the field. Ethical considerations: show you have a plan to keep people safe. And the conclusion: summarize the expected impact. By sticking to this exact flow, you make it incredibly easy for the reviewer to find exactly what they want.
I want to pause for a quick second on one specific part of that structure, the literature review. This is where you prove you've done your homework. You aren't just doing a book report on old papers. You're systematically comparing previous studies to your proposed question to definitively prove that a gap in knowledge exists. This is how you avoid reinventing the wheel, guys.
And here's another crucial point. Your methodology and budget sections, they aren't just administrative afterthoughts. They're the absolute core of your proposal's credibility. They prove to the committee that your study is practical and realistically resourced. I don't care how brilliant your theory is, if you propose a completely unrealistic budget or a timeline that's just pure fantasy, nobody is funding you. You've got to build confidence that you can actually execute.
All right, home stretch, part 4, the fast approval checklist. What to do right before you submit.
Want to cut your review time in half? Ensure your proposal hits these 3 sanity checks before you hit that submit button. Step 1, the feasibility check. Do you actually have the resources? If you say you're going to survey 1,000 people with a $0 budget, you're getting rejected. Be realistic. Step 2, clear objectives. Always use SMART goals: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Step 3, clean formatting. Seriously, if it looks messy, reviewers will assume your data collection will be messy too. Use clean headers, a standard font, and 0 typos.
At the end of the day, research is fundamentally a game of communication. You could have the most groundbreaking, earth-shattering idea in the world, but if you can't communicate it within the strict frameworks expected by these funding bodies, it's going absolutely nowhere. Master the structure, and you master the approval process.
So the real question is, are you ready to get that research published? If you want a copy of the proposal structure template that I literally use for my own studies, check the link in the description to grab that. Also, be sure to join the community for next week's Explainer, where we dive deep into sampling techniques. But before you go write your next sentence, I want you to ask yourself, is your current proposal just a monument to your own theories, or is it a sharply aimed weapon designed to solve a critical problem? Get out there, reframe your problem, and let's get that research approved.